Commercial and Media Director for the All England Club, overlooking beautiful Wimbledon on this morning. There's a real mixture of tradition and innovation here, isn't there? Things change all the time, but you keep the traditional side of things as well.
Yeah, I mean, we have a phrase that's sort of, Wimbledon always changing, always the same. I mean, the brand is obviously very important of heritage and tradition and tennis and English garden, but at the same time we then innovate. So, I mean, just behind me are the brand new suites. It's not just about the roof on the centre court, but these beautiful brand new suites where our partners can invite their guests. They're overlooking the tennis at 11 o'clock in the morning. They can then go to the show courts. So there's that sense of always changing around the grounds, but it's keeping absolutely true to our brand.
And we can also see the new #1 roof above those suites. That has made a difference, hasn't it? Even though we haven't had rain, we haven't had any bad weather. But that's just something that makes sure that everything keeps moving along. And the tennis, we've seen matches come finish and everything stays on track.
I think it just gives us certainty. So for the broadcast partners, they know absolutely that the two courts are going to be in play. So there's two courts absolutely going out around the world. But I think for our hospitality partners now, that kind of risk, or do I give my #1 court tickets to some people and less, and there's a sort of first and second class, completely gone. There's guaranteed play. So yeah, it's they may not be used for rain that much this tournament, but they've been used for late play, but it's certainty.
And one of the key focuses of Wimbledon, particularly this year, but it has been ongoing, is sustainability, isn't it?
Yeah, look, we're on a journey. I mean, like everybody, you can't fix everything in one foul swoop. So we've started the process. We try to lay out a pathway till 2030, and we try to articulate it with a sustainability area here. But each year we will be looking at how we can absolutely improve that, try and better communicate it, and challenge ourselves.
Exciting times for new markets. You've had a First Nation sponsor this year.
Well, we're actually two new partners this year. So we've got American Express, who are a great new global partner. They've got a fantastic activation area down in the southern part of the grounds. And Oppo, who is a brand new Chinese smartphone partner. Their celebration is about their camera capability. And what they give us is very different. It's a very different strategic relationship because we're grappling with trying to build our brand in China in particular, but in Southeast Asia and India, and they are huge in both those markets. They are probably the third biggest phone manufacturer in China and second in India. They are huge advertisers and they're activating our brand literally as we speak in those markets. So strategically it will help us fundamentally to grow our brand and understanding.
You mentioned the fans' experience. I had to go on the virtual reality challenge against Andy Murray. Do you know, I enjoyed it, it's a lot of fun. Do you know what the general reaction has been to that area, the Southern Village?
It's been really good. I think it's a new area, and again, we were cautious as to whether we could get people sort of down there to try it. But I think with the new extension of more seating around Court 12 and good communication, we've got a lot of people down there. I think once people have got there, they're having great fun. Certainly American Express are very happy, but I think it's a family place. So it's more of a destination. They can go and have a bit of fun playing Andy. We haven't had that before, and the response has been really good.
Yeah, it was inundated with children when I was down there, actually, so they certainly were enjoying it. And where does Wimbledon go? What's next? You are always innovating, as we said.
Well, I think every year we have a wash-up, and literally we'll be constructively critical about everything. The famous list will come into play. So there'll be sort of upgrades around the site for next year, doing various things. But obviously the big plan for the next decade is the golf course. Now, having taken complete control of the golf course, our master planners at work, looking at the initiatives. They're talking to all of us. They'll come back and sort of present those ideas to us in the course of the 12 months. That's not a short-term issue. It's kind of a medium-term sort of strategy. But that's fundamentally going to increase the size of our grounds by 2.5 times. And our challenge really again will be, whilst it gives us a much greater capability in terms of fan size and what do we do with show courts, etc. But again, the challenge will be for us is making sure that we keep this brand true to itself, even though we're going to sort of become a much bigger proposition.
I suppose one of the big things that's going to change over the next year is the way the tickets are distributed, because you're moving into a sort of digital age with that, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great thing to do. It means that we'll make our tickets more available to a lot more people. Like any tournament, if you are 10 times oversubscribed and you come 20 times oversubscribed, it's great, because that just means we become even more sought after. But I think it's a combination of getting that sort of in play much earlier, and as we extend our ground capability over time, then I think we'll satisfy more demand.
Excellent. Looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's great.
Thanks.